experience versus techies.
Team pick.
Exactly.
Right? You know, this is good experience. I mean, I think you're better than them. I think you can beat them even if you lose to the techies one game. All right, here's what I'll say, though.
Good point, though.
In all seriousness, I think despite them losing game one, they have more than doubled my expectations for them to actually take a game versus BINOMISTAS after that game.
All right.
That's
something.
I agree.
Like, this is top of the table versus bottom of the table. And that was way closer than I thought.
I agree what T-Bun said. I think Crewmates, they could have forced much more than they did. But the only reason they lost, like, the game it was literally even, and they made it a 14k goal leading 2 minutes just because of the, like, one play into buyback, into dieback. Yeah. So they just gotta chill a little bit more, think about what they're doing. Because I guess, like, gameplay-wise, they were definitely on par with BINOMISTAS. In like terms of lanes, in terms of like the early to mid game decisions.
Now, for real though, thoughts about a first phase lone druid for Crewmates? Because I do think they need to take one of these really scary specialist heroes that they have, and lone druid is definitely going to be banned in this next phase.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, they take Bristle and I like this just as much. Same logic, right? Same exact logic. This is solid. Now, right into the Viper ban, already a step up.
Very nice.
You guys ready for Wisp Bristle?
Is this going to be an FCR Bristle, a Hijack Bristle, a Ryer Bristle? Because I don't remember them playing this recently.
A 5 Bristle.
Oh, that would be really good. I think they played carry, right?
Someone played that.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, really?
Oh, like, yeah. It was like last season or something. There was a support Bristle somewhere. They got Vipered. It was pretty funny. Spoiler alert, it didn't
just
look good.
max goo level 1. Just go goo. Interesting. All right, so if you're BINOMISTAS here, this is pretty much the same opener that they had. Do they just play the same game? Because I do feel like Drow is actually a good response to Bristle, especially now that you get the shard with the heal reduction.
Sorry, I just had to Google it. It was Fada's position 5 Bristle, and it was in the semifinals for ESL actually. Good times. Position 5
Fada,
Bristle.
Dude. He's the one that plays support TA. I think we were talking about it.
True. He's trying.
Off stream. Remaining. Okay, so you take the Invoker, because that mana drain is pretty annoying against Bristle.
So, forgotten about hero. Do you ban the Coddle if you're BINOMISTAS?
Maybe you pick it?
Okay, sure. That works too. But, Bristleback has now become a threat. It used to be that Bristle was really scary with these combos. Mostly Wisp or Coddle. Those are the big two. Now it's just Bristleback is scary if you can't pick Viper. Are we still afraid of Coddle? Could they still go for like Coddle Mars or something to get double value?
No, you're 100% right. They should definitely be banning the Coddle. I think that's way more worth than even Oracle. I mean, Oracle has value with the Dispel, obviously, with the Arrow, and they might even ban the Abba for the same logic, or they're just going to take it for themselves.
Yeah, maybe you pick Abba, pick Coddle for yourself. I just feel like if you ban Coddle, they're gonna get Abba on Crewmates, and they're fine with that because that's their bread and butter. So I wonder, how much value there is in the ban. It's obviously good with Bristle,
and they can't really pick the Coddle because they have Nyx too.
Yes, I mean you can. It's just gonna be
it just
little
sucks.
garbage.
You're just hanging out one of your players to dry. Like, oh yeah, we picked this not because it's good, but because we don't want them to have it.
Oof. Okay, they take the Troll. A Razor ban, just a strong hero against Troll.
Oh, they're picking Io, dude.
Radiant team.
They banned AA.
Okay. Yeah, I thought they would just pick the Abba again because they just love to give it to.
Are they gonna mid Bristle and 1 Wisp?
Yes.
Possible.
I think they definitely are. I think BINOMISTAS need to take some other AoE like Disruptor or something right now.
Remaining.
Oh, that's something I don't. Wow, the Bristle Io is such an OG thing. That's cool. Well, what counters Io and is also good versus Bristle at the same time?
I mean, Doom, but you can't really fit him in here.
I guess Enigma, but you already have Centaur, right? So you can't. Because you have the percentage damage and the fact that you can black hole whoever relocates.
They could Wyvern, and then if they don't Io, the Wyvern's still good.
Okay. I like the Wyvern choice. I think, BINOMISTAS definitely played Wyvern, I think.
Tree. All right, that's another kind of classic, just like AoE, yeah.
I'm okay with it. I don't like this, though. I think it's a little... I mean, it's a strong lane with Troll, because everything is strong with Troll. But that Bristleback's gonna get a Lotus Orb pretty fast. You have an Abaddon
10
on top of it.
seconds
I don't know how much value the Treant brings.
Io.
5 seconds remaining.
Come on, crewmates. Down a game. Take it to him.
I mean, do we like the IO though? It
No.
just feels so underwhelming.
And there's also that Lone Druid. Like, we could go back for one of their other classics.
Do you want to know? I've seen this before, actually, when I've looked up IO on Dota Buff. You know how they have the win rates for the cosmetics? I don't know if you're aware of this.
Yep. Yeah.
So for IO, the Arcana actually has a negative win percent. 17% of
Really?
people use the companion cube, and it has on average, it loses 1.24% win rate. Probably because people just want to use their Arcana.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
They just random IO. They have it since the Compendium.
Yeah.
You know, I have to
They
admit
put
that cosmetic is one of
seconds remaining.
my only big Dota regrets. Not that I play
Oh, you
Wisp
don't
a
have
lot.
it? Ooh.
I don't have it. That was one that
would
it's not
hurt me.
tradable. You can only get it from whatever it was, like level 400 or 500 1 year in the Compendium or
Yeah.
Battle Pass rather. But it is still to this day one of the coolest cosmetics.
That one got me good.
Mhm.
They definitely got
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
wallet that year. I was like, yep, I'm not leaving without that one.
I legit think if I had gotten it, I would have spent more time trying to train my Wisp when it was broken as like core. Like, I played him a few times, and you do feel a little sad when you just look at that regular Wisp and go, I'll never be a cube. No matter how hard I try, Trent, I'll never be a cube.
I know.
I just want to be
keep
a
going,
butterfly.
bud. I know.
I'm forever a caterpillar.
You gotta love yourself, Zayori. You don't need to conform to the cube standards.
Radiant
I got to
team
live outside the box, man. Now, this Darkseer, another hero we're a big fan of. I really like him with Bristleback as well. You got 2 enablers now for this Bristle God.
Yeah.
We just need Invoker's banned, but somebody else like
Radiant
that.
team back.
Who's getting the Solar Crest?
I mean, they could still just puck for crewmates. And then just do the Bristle safe lane. Like, they don't have to go IO, obviously. And I think with the vacuum and stuff, their team fight would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm starting to think this Bristleback is going to be a Ryer hero
5
just
seconds
because
remaining.
they usually last pick FCR and they almost always first phase Ryer.
Dire
So
team pick.
let's see what they'll do here. Yeah, they bend the Medusa. I think they need more burst damage, like an Ursa, someone that does a lot of damage in a quick span of time because they don't have that at all. It also should be a melee hero.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think that they can definitely Bristle away, but I also think they can get away with the Bristle 1 simply because
5
they have a Nyx
seconds
Darkseer
remaining.
lane. So the Nyx can actually do some of the stacking for you,
Yep.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
But is there anything that they could pick 10th that would really ruin your Bristle mid with Viper being banned? Not really.
Not really.
Like, you can just
Like,
farm,
they
push,
can-
get runes. I guess,
Yep.
one of the spirits, maybe? No?
I don't. Maybe Monkey King is strong enough. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be annoying. But again, it's mid anyway, so it's not like there's a lot of chase down.
Exactly. That's why Bristle. It's weird because everyone thinks that Bristle mid is not that good because you don't have the chase to kill. But as like in the beginning, you just really care about stacking and farming.
Yeah.
It takes a while for it to get online.
Big number.
You need like a Lena-esque hero that can handle playing against Centaur better. Who is it? Kunkka?
Kunkka's like decent. He just kind of does everything. More damage reduction for Bristle. Kind of spooky.
Radiant team pick.
DP is there.
Okay.
just want the storm.
There you go.
Okay.
That's the other one.
All right.
Pretty safe.
That's
But
unusual.
Puck's left.
They do have Abba though, so provided Flash plays alongside Storm,
True.
can always
10
break the coil and
seconds
dispel it.
remaining.
Man, they're just like, man, why didn't we pick Coddle? Yeah,
5
Coddle, Storm,
seconds
Bristle,
remaining.
guys.
I mean, yeah, even with Storm.
Puck really stands out.
Yeah, and it's a really good mini hero.
Yeah, it's like the hero I think of when I think of Mini, like every time. It's just the Mini Puck. It is the Nyx Assassin, of course, but other than that, like there's no Hex, there's no really good stuns. So you'd only have to really worry about the Nyx Assassin. But they'll take the DP instead. So get some percent-based damage versus the Bristle, put that mid, and
Yeah.
go versus the Storm.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, once
silence is
again-
nice too. Sort of. You have a Baden.
Yeah. Once again, I feel like Crewmates has the better draft. Like, this Death Prophet, we saw SG trying to play Death Prophet versus Bristle. Even when the DP is middle, he's just so annoying to... You don't really do that much damage to Bristleback. He has so much reduction, so much move speed. I think if Crewmates, they not only have a good draft early on, but they probably have the late game as well. Because this Troll is going to get kited against the Darkseer Surge. You can itemize versus Treant Protector. They just lack push and stuns. But if the lanes are fine...
I don't know. Troll's kind of scary, man. We've had some games where it's like they get entangled into Arrow or Centaur Stomp, and Troll just kills them. You know?
I mean, you're not going to rely on the Entangle Arrow, but yeah.
Well, entangle into
It's-
Stomp. That's easy enough. Well, and he doesn't have to worry about being kited as much because he has Stampede to work with. Like, if he just gets one net, he kills, like, anyone.
Yeah, but you have Shield, you have 4-staff from the Knicks. I don't know. I think this is a really good draft.
I think I'm biased in favor of Centaur. I look at all these heroes and go, I mean, DP's okay, but when you add Centaur, I mean, Tread, Stampede with DP, this is insane. Like, there's something about that global... I think even though Crewmates have a good draft, it's still going to be a 2-0. I have trouble... After seeing that game one, I just have trouble seeing Crewmates take it. Am I being too hard on them, Trent?
No, that's kind of fair. I mean, there's definitely this window of Darkseer that I don't like from, like, 10 to 13 minutes where I feel like a lot of pivotal things happen in Dota right now, and he has a hard time having that impact because his first item's not done. So that kind of concerns me, personally.
All right. Well, a rare treat
I
with no
agree.
pause. So time to throw it over. Gary and Theben, game number 2. What are we thinking? A split panel once again here.
I think BINOMISTAS have found their comfort zone. This Mirana Centaur caused a lot of problems for Crewmates in game 1, and I just don't see it going any differently, while they also set themselves up for another brilliant Benny game, Theben, don't they?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Benny, he's a great carry player, and I think he's very stable, and I don't think he's going to be making too many mistakes. Darkseer plus Nyx is a really strong lane,
30
but I
seconds to
really
go.
can't see Benny dying, to be fair, just with like how he plays the lanes, essentially. He's very safe, just plays for the farm, and that's what we'll see. And I think the big hero in this draft, though, for BINOMISTAS is going to be Mini on this Death Prophet. This hero is incredibly good. If she gets ahead against Storm, that silence is going to be key, and then the exorcism against the Bristleback.
And I mean, he gets a 3-man
boy.
stun,
Yep.
but he's walked into 3 heroes all alone.
Uh-huh.
First blood
That's
already
first
spilled,
blood.
and it's Jupiter again, getting a lot of money. Up towards
Yeah,
top
Jupiter-
rune, sexy fat, steal.
He's so
is it 4
happy.
bounty runes? Oh, they'll get 3. FCL will take
yeah.
one of them at least.
They're also playing against Bristleback, so they get that magic stick, right? They're gonna be so happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Free resources
Central's
for
already
your
got one.
lane. Yeah, and it looks like they want to try and make a play bottom, maybe beat up these heroes. Oh, okay. This is really good against Darkseer, right? So you see Darkseer use the Iron Shot on the creep wave. That means the creep wave will push in. As long as you zone out the Darkseer and the Nyx, they're not going to be able to get XP. But because the Mirana left, they were able to just run past the Troll and the Treant to get to the creep wave. It's like, no, we can't let these creeps go. Amen. He's getting his
But they
ass
turned back
kicked
straight
right
on him.
here.
Yeah, he's trying to run away. Hijack now going to take the brunt of the damage from them. And that's going to be, what, a 1.5 wave coming back, and they set it right in front of that tier 1 of the Radiant side, while, top lane, Sexy Fat, yes, is taking a decent chunk of damage. FCR and D-Flash get on top of him, but it's a South pop into an interesting lane position top for them as well.
Yeah.
Oh, is Hijack dead?
D-Flash.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
he's
yeah! One more touch. Well, that's a lane win out of the BINOMISTAS bottom. Nyx now is going to have to try and drag waves, get himself a bit of experience, and yeah, Darkseer struggling in that early lane stage. Doesn't feel too happy about it. Also going to have to spend a TP to come down bot. Already the crewmates
Yeah,
having some
I think-
difficulties, like Treant is 1v2 zoning them out. They'll try
This is
and
so good.
stick it to him with the iron shells,
he's
but
dead.
Nyx Assassin is just gone to the Leech Seed and the Nature's Grasp.
I mean, he's just sitting in the trees using the Nature's Grass, does extra damage as well, and just Crewmates trying to fight into that, being level 1 on both their heroes, just an absolute disaster.
Oh, and a denial.
They've won this lane so hard already, right?
Yeah, I mean-
Darkseer, the recovery here is only by getting XP and gold and trying to play for the Iron Shell later on. You're not going to be able to win this lane anymore.
And they've got to keep sending this Nyx down here. Doesn't feel like he's going to find a home anywhere else. Mirana snipes out D-Flash's courier, who chased him out of the lane, sure. Doesn't do too much to bother the Mirana, who just returns to Sexy Fat's position. He's already farmed himself up a Storm, 12 and 2. Matching FCR's farm rate, and they're looking for this Stomp Arrow, it seems. Line it up onto the Bristle. Shield comes a little bit early, it felt like there, and FCR, they've got a double edge with the right clicks coming, they pop the sticks. Oh! The Bristleback with those quill sprays. Yeah, he gets the kill, but Jupiter trading still pretty good for the BINOMISTAS.
Yeah, like you said, that arrow just came out too... I mean, the shield came out too early. You're supposed to wait for the arrow to land first, and then shield. If the arrow doesn't land, you don't even need to shield him. You can just back right off, then you just salve him up, and you're going to be okay. So, I think they're happy on BINOMISTAS getting the kill onto the Bristleback. Jupiter getting another kill. His levels are very high now, almost 3. Let's see if he goes back top or he decides to go bottom and try to punish this Darkseer Nyx.
Yeah, or maybe even like refill a bottle of mini mid.
Yeah,
It looks
that's
like
also a good option.
Storm Spirit, what, 16-4 is a couple of denies extra for Mini's Death Prophet, and Storm has been farming some of these little neutral camps now. But 2 side lane wins already for BINOMISTAS. There's a lot of pressure onto Ryor. And you mentioned it, that DP, if she gets off to even a decent start against Storm, could start running over this map and pressuring pretty hard. How do you adapt to this? Like, do you move the Nyx Assassin somewhere else, try to alleviate the pain
You
and
gotta.
pressure?
You don't want to play this Nyx into bottom lane anymore when he can't win the lane, nor can he support the Darkseer. So move mid, get a stun on this DP would be a good start. There's a slow.
He's gonna land
There's
it.
the follow-up. Very
Treant
nice.
comes in. Fairy Fire's not enough. And that is the move desperately needed.
Exactly.
Ryan
And now
should
you
be
got
able to-
Nuage out of bottom lane, which gives your Darkseer a 1v1 with the Troll, which gives him a higher chance of actually getting farmed down here. So, yeah, when you're not able to support your core in the lane, you just gotta leave. You gotta try and make some pressure elsewhere to force the heroes out of that lane that is being locked in.
You can't just continue to bleed out. Jupiter still playing games with D-Flash. Chaser through the jungle. Mirana with that observer ward, sees the Abaddon though, so she's able to take the path back towards the creep wave.
And it should be getting better as well. Like, if you get the Mirana out of the lane, the Bristle can definitely own Centaur on his own. Bottom lane, I want to see Amin just continue to gank other lanes. Like, stop going down here. Stop going to the Darkseer versus Troll lane. Let's just try to make some plays around mid, and good things will happen. Like, look at Ryer's losses too. He's not doing that bad. 27-5 to 26-11. DP, some of those losses are neutrals. Actually, I do think Mini's behind in this lane right now. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
You can just check out the net worth.
about a 400 difference. Yeah, you're right. I guess though, even with this kind of laning stage loss across the board, Bristleback is that hero that hits her timing really hard. He gets his tanky items up, that Vanguard, maybe a Hood. He's thinking about the Aghanim Scepter, which has been that position 1 item for sure. And once he comes out with those items, he can be very difficult to peel off your teammates. Sexy Fat already feeling it, having to TP back to his tier 1. But equally, when he gets his Vanguard, he's going to feel pretty safe up there.
Yeah, and Sexy Fat, I think he could die if he walks too close to the creep wave. He does see the double creep wave coming in, though. He'll be fine.
Catch the
Nuage,
Treant.
he's healing.
Down near that
He's
bottom ring
healing.
Tower is under
There's no
healing a
Storm
lot.
mana. He's actually surviving.
He's fine.
Wait, is he out of there? Nyx is still
yeah.
looking for him with a stun, but now in comes Jupiter's Mirana. There's no carapace. Could look for the level 2 arrow that she's got. Just going to plink away at the Nyx Assassin for now. There's a courier you could snipe as well. Arrow, finish the job. Tries to leap, but stunned out.
Yeah, that level 2 Leech Seed doing a lot of work, plenty of heals, able to tank it up with the living armor as well, and just make it space. And now the Storm, lost all his mana trying to get that kill onto the Treant. That gives Mini a little bit more momentum. Mini going
And he
top
took
with
his
Exo.
top. Yeah, straight onto the Bristleback. FCR chased down. Into the trees we go, but he's looking pretty dead even with that Vanguard on him. So Mini's now probably going to be able to convert this into some serious damage onto that top tower.
Oh yeah, and Nuash ready mid to counteract any tower damage that might be coming in mid as well. So BINOMISTAS again making very good rotations. Creep Wave did die though, so Sexy Fat. It's like trying to soak some of this damage. Not gonna happen.
And
Still one
Troll-
good thing about Bristleback, right? You gank him, but he kills all the creeps, so even though you do kill him, you can't really connect that into a tower take right away.
Yeah, and then he's straight back into your lane, bullying you around. While Troll Warlord looks like he's dipped away from bot. And a pretty fast Battle Fury time, probably going to be coming out from Benny. He already has the 2 swords.
He's rushing it. I think he noticed Ryer has been missing for a while, so he didn't really want to die to a Darkseer Storm gank. So jungled up a little bit. Now he sees the Storm mid, and he's back down to bottom lane to clear up all these creeps. So very efficient farming from Benny here, making all the correct moves.
Yeah, it's really nice. You know, Darkseer just shoving that wave perpetually into your tower to come back and reap what he's sown, basically.
Ryer rotating bottom now
Storm?
with the regen. This could be a scary gank for the Storm.
They do get the Carapace stun onto Benny. He's got no
Doesn't have
mana for
battle
Battle Trance. He's popped out with that
There we go.
nice little Vortex Remnant. Treant's going to get himself out of there. But that pick off on Troll, vitally important for Crewmates' chances here.
Exactly, and he's got a regen on Ryer, so he can keep going with this. He just wants to see Nuash one time getting out of the trees. Oh, no. A little too hasty there.
Decent attempt. It's the right idea. I'll see Nuage now, when he's just got that living armor over towards the tower. Yeah, right, I'm going to use this regen rune to try and clear through some of these jungle camps.
It's going
Very
for
strong,
a
pretty
magic
handy.
wand too in this game. Not something you typically see on the Storm Spirit anymore. You just see that Orchid rush. So his Orchid will be slowed down because of that wand for sure.
Was that mainly for laning phase up against that DP, or what's the...
I think he just
Thought
felt
process
like he
behind
likes
it.
the item. You know, it's sometimes autopilot Storm players, they just buy it. I don't really see a good reason for having a magic wand in this game against BINOMISTAS heroes.
Maybe like a little bit worried with a random arrow landing on you. You need a bit of burst regen just to try and break past that, plus a silence.
Does have
So it
his
pays off, though.
first component of the Orchid, Oblivion Staff. Nuage? Oh, he's in the trees. So hard to gank
They're
this
still
hero,
going to
but
Vortex stun him.
they got
Vortex
him.
coming in. He pops his stick. He turns, vacuumed back into them. Or the Treant. And nearly slips away, but it's a lot of space. You know, they're chasing down that Treant for a good, 15 seconds, while top lane's being pummeled by Sexy Fat with that third point to retaliate. Quite a simple objective for them to grab. And they could actually TP down bottom and try and defend with just the Centaur Mirana if they wanted to.
I would like
But
to see
again,
them
it feels
actually
like-
go middle instead with the catapult. Just connect it
On
into
push.
another tower take here. Yeah, exactly. Make your own aggressive move. You kind of just want to leave the tree at bot lane anyway to
That's true.
defend on his own.
Then your other four can actually get out there on the map. Yeah, and they've got Exo back up again as well. That's right. So Mini. Oh, use TP in bottom. They want to defend this lane and maybe look for some kills here. Mirana's showing on a Dire Ward. Sexy Fat's going to show up top in a second. They know where the troll is. And Benny, with Battle Fury nearly done, probably going to go back towards his triangle to continue farming. So Mini's TP there not paying off for them.
Definitely not. I think he just wanted to make the very cautious play, make sure the Treant can't be killed and stop this tower take. Plus, you got the OG, so if they do try to dive the Treant with like a storm, you can just pop the Exo and turn the fight around. I think that was Mini's idea there. But Crewmates, they have other plans. Just gonna farm up. They don't want to force this tower into the Treant right now. They just want to play for their levels, their item timings. Look at the Bristleback. He's going for that Aghanims next after the Vanguard.
Yeah.
Storm wants to get that Orchid. Once we see those two big items come out, I think Crewmates will try to fight.
It feels like a very clear, like 15 minutes in, we're going to be incredibly strong. The Aghanim's Bristle, the Orchid Storm, is Sexy Fat, forced to Stampede, but Vanguard Hood, almost unkillable. Need to bring 3-4 heroes to deal with him. But yeah, that additional item, Hijack's mech, is probably going to be there around 15 minutes as well, so they'll have that trio as Mini moves onto the Darkseer. The Ghost right on him with the Overgrowth to stop the TP. They take that Darkseer down, delaying his team items And maybe a push onto this tower. Every time they use Exorcism, they're looking to connect onto these buildings. And they've even got Jupiter behind the tower. Deep Observer Ward, good vision. Gets pinged out now, just the Courier Snipe.
Glyph used. Gonna back off here. FCR, he is middle, trying to do some kind of tower damage here while they are hitting bottom. If they can get this mid tower, that would be lovely. But it looks like Crewmates actually want to move bottom. Yeah,
Jupiter
they're just getting...
denied the bottom rune.
Did they?
Yeah, he leapt in, denied the illusion rune right underneath the Abaddon who was guarding it from the storm. So there's no refill for Ryo, and they smoke, but they gain nothing. And while this is all happening, Troll with Battle Fury, top of the net worth, 6,400, top third of the map, all belongs to him.
They're just being...
They need to play into.
Right, they're just being spread so thin on Crewmates right now, just trying to put out these fires. Like Centaur's pushing top, Mirana's defending mid, DP and Treant are hitting bottom. Just commit to one lane. You see the Bristleback is hitting middle, bottom tower you glyph, they already started backing off. Just go on the mid lane, right? Try to force BINOMISTAS to come and fight you. They're just splitting the map, just like game number 1. It feels like Crewmates are not able to just, stick to one plan. They want to do everything at the same time.
Because logically, it works both ways, right? Either you go as 4 or 5 heroes towards one place and you force the opponents to move and match you, or you need to send 4 or 5 heroes to kill any of these heroes anyway. Like if you're moving towards a troll or a centaur, you need to bring numbers, so you may as well be pressuring the objective while you're doing that.
Exactly. And with the EXO being on cooldown too, it would have been lovely, right, to have a team fight there on the mid lane. Because BINOMISTAS are going to bring everybody in for it. And they use OG, so that's like 2 big team fight spells on cooldown. Troll just has Battle Fury, he doesn't really want to fight you. And these are the small things like some of these Division 2 teams are struggling to comprehend and do in game time. So game time decisions, these are very important to evolve and learn.
Yeah, because they've missed that opportunity now. And BINOMISTAS is probably ready to think about... Oh, okay, I was going to say they're ready to think about smoking, but Sexy Fat's 200 gold away from Blink. That'll be the real trigger there for them to group up together. And he's going to TP mid. They do have that smoke on the Courier. Blink is coming out
double
soon.
Smoke.
Oh, dear. A little bit of waste there, but they're still going to Moonlight Shadow and play aggressively into that dire triangle. There's a high ground Observer Ward, which they still didn't manage to remove. FCR, he feels something coming.
Oh, Storm got air. Okay, never mind. D-Flash is there.
Shield.
No, everything's cool. I'm just shook that the Storm got arrow through all those creeps. I'm like, what? That arrow just phased through everything.
But again, it's the real storyline is BINOMISTAS are dictating what's happening in the game. Crewmates are reacting, running away, trying to maneuver. Like you said, putting out fires every step. And Benny, he's going to get zipped on. Orchid reveal there. They stampede with the Vortex. Battle Trans going to get it off in time. The silence, no. The Vendetta clears through him as many actually exorcisms for the kill on Armin. The Yules is there to stop the TP. That should be the end of the next assassin. But with Benny down, they can't go to Roshan, so it has to be a push towards mid-tier 1.
That was a beautiful kill there, Gary. And Sexy Fat, he just got his Blink Dagger. He went for the Vanguard Hood first, so now they have some form of initiation as well, apart from the Yules that they can play with.
Guard the catapult. And use that remainder of the Exo. Now you can really put that Treant wherever you want to. Mid lane, bot lane, guard all these objectives. As Jupiter gonna feel the pain again from this Orchid. Pops the 1, 10 charges, not enough to get through that soul burn. So Storm Spirit with a good couple of kills now. He's dominating, he's 4-0, he's having a pretty decent game.
I think Crewmates are starting to come online now. They got the Aghanims complete on the Bristleback. Darkseer has the mech. He's going for Greaves. I feel like it's better if he would just go for the Aghanims right now. But, I mean, Greaves is nice to remove the silence and the OG. BINOMISTAS, on the other hand, they're not ready to fight at all. If you check Benny, he's going for a Yasha. So this is not a BKB rush. They're going to be waiting a long time before they can fight. Yeah, FCR is going to
right on top of Sexy Fat.
Oh, is there any stuns?
He's going to TP.
Oh, he
Carapace, stun. Yep. They've all used it.
Exactly. You need to save one of your disables just for that. But you can run at mid now. Try to take this tower. Crewmates, I hope they learn from game 1 and they just start running at BINOMISTAS objectives.
Yeah, start sticking it to them. Another ball lightning. Orchid onto Benny. And now the Moonlight Shadow. Gives him that nice safety net. Oh, crewmates, don't run away. Stand and fight. We're going to go back to farming. We're going to start thinking about this Roshan, I guess. Maybe a fight around Roche could lead into it. They've got that nasal goo. The ability to tank inside the pit. The Abaddon's there as well, and they actually move in.
Roshan, interesting. With every hero being alive, they have the confidence to do Roshan, but not take mid tower while Excel's on cooldown. I mean, it's not a bad fight though, because you do have vacuum in the wall. Yep, this is a big pick-off right here. Huge pick-off.
That's huge.
And they got the ward.
They exit for it. The buyback out of the tree and stampeding forward. They're going to get a stomp onto the next assassin. Catching out our men. The wall dropped onto them. A buyback from both supports on either side as the stacks of nasal goo. They're building up now from this bristleback. Star Storm there, but the ball lightning in. Catches out Benny. Didn't get a chance to battle trans in the DP. She's still putting out a lot of damage, but getting turned on by 5 of crewmates. Around the Roche pit, they get a 5-man wipe and the forced buyback out of the Treant.
They got it. That was such a huge engagement. I mean, you cannot fight in to this bristleback without your Treant being alive, just locking these heroes in. They ran right into the Darkseer wall combo, and then you saw the Carpal Tunnel come in, just destroying everybody. Look at this. Goo. It's just too much.
Here comes the Carpal Tunnel.
Oh, like FCR, man, get your hands checked out after this game. You're just spamming QW, 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 and then look, watch this hit on the Mirana. Look how much damage she takes from one attack. Bam!
Oh yeah.
There's so much minus armor. She can't move. I played against this, earlier this week, and I'm like, guys, we cannot fight into this bristleback. Just let him do whatever he wants. Split push, get your items, and then later on, he's gonna be useless. But if you entertain him at this point in the game, you will just lose. This Agonist bristleback is way too much.
Yeah, especially when you're still waiting for Spirit Vessel on that Mirana. Not too far away from it now, but would have loved to have it in that fight. But yeah, the fact that he has plus 210 damage from Warpath,
but
with all that minus armor, he's hitting for like 400 or 500 on these squishier heroes.
Even if they do get the vessel though, you're dealing with the Abaddon, Apothic Shield, right? So how to kill this guy? You can't kill him until you get items, and this Troll Warlord still needs his BKB badly. He went for the like I said, he went for the Yasha first, which I don't think would allow him to fight into this Darkseer, Storm Spirit, and whatever nonsense going on. Like that can disable him up. And that's a big problem for Benny. It slowed down his fighting potential big time.
God, we've got an Eternal Shroud on that bristle now. He's ready to run towards them all. Next
so much lifesteal.
Catches out the Centaur with a nice little carapace. Chain stun him with a Vortex. Half HP, pops his hood, has a stick. Still just going to get burst down here though, Sexy Fan, during that Orchid. The rest of his team nowhere nearby there, all down bottom, trying to kind of guard that Benny Troll Warlord farming in that dire triangle. But I like the vision game from Crewmates as well. Very forward vision, guarding the Roche pit with double wards, sentries there, triangle, and that high ground ward to the left of the bottom outpost feels so important to have when you're a dire team.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice. I mean, that ward from both sides is just so lovely to have it. Obviously, you have to be dewarded too. Jupiter free kill. I mean, I guess it's hard to split push as well against the Storm Spirit. So they have a pretty cool balance in their draft, right? You got the Bristleback who can just be up front and shove stuff, and you're trying to split push, and then you got the Storm who's running around trying to catch these people who are split pushing. As long as the Storm also continues to scale at the rate that he's scaling, I think Crewmates, they're in an amazing position this game.
Did you see what happened to that neutral item just now? Darkseer had Ion Shell on the Storm, and Storm cleared a camp, and he was like 2,000, 3,000 range away, and the neutral item spawned next to the Darkseer because the Ion Shell actually got it.
Yeah.
Just neutral items flying across all over the place.
Did he pick it up? Did he get it?
Yeah, he got the Imp Claw. Oh, interesting overlap of Overgrowth and Yules. That's going to allow the Nyx Assassin to escape.
And that's going to make Mini get caught here. Storm steeping in.
He gets Blink stunned right on top of the DP. Now she's got no saving mechanism, no Yules. And that is a real beautiful pick-up there for Ryo to grab up. Hijack. He claims the kill for himself, but now they are going to start running at them. FCR's on top of Nuanges. And with that high ground ward finally being de-warded, BINOMISTAS given a little bit of room. Sexy Fan inside the next grasp. Still being stacked up on with these nasal goos. Has to stampede and run away.
Alright, you know what, Gary? I'm gonna put my stamp on this game. It's only 1k advantage, but I believe on Crewmates. I believe in Crewmates to take this game here.
I feel like
I think they got this.
Out of the hands of BINOMISTAS.
Crewmates are like, I mean, they got to the point in the game where their lineup just becomes unstoppable. And BINOMISTAS with this troll going for the Yasha first, I feel like they missed the opportunity to be able to fight and take a commanding lead in this game. And look at FCR. The carpal tunnel is just too strong, man. Just get in there.
Back into it as well.
Look at that. It just slapped. That's a centaur, by the way. With the who went to Vanguard hood blink, right? He was so farmed. Oh, that's another mistake in my opinion too. Like going for the Vanguard hood, then the blink dagger. They had so many missed opportunities to fight and kill in the earlier end of this game as well. Mini again.
Storm's found Mini.
Yep.
He doesn't have Yule Scepter.
Dead.
Yeah, BINOMISTAS. They're bleeding out. Pick off after pick off. Now they're kind of relegating themselves to split pushing. Jupiter top, Benny down bottom, trying to claim as much farm as they can. But this really has been a firm grasp on the map by the Crewmates these past 5 or so minutes. How much of this do you reckon comes down to the Nyx assassin factor? Because I feel like that's something we talk a lot about in these games where Nyx is involved. He like opens everything to you.
What do you mean by that?
Like being able to control the map, find pickoffs, starting off team fights, getting that information vision game.
The Nyx factor is very minimal in this game. I have more. I can give more credit towards the Abaddon Bristleback, like just shielding and healing this guy up, and just not having the ability to break on BINOMISTAS is also hurting. And then you got the Storm. Like for me, the two biggest factors probably the Bristle Dark Abaddon, who allows them to be unkillable, and then you have the Storm Spirit, who can just catch all the split pushers, because you got this unkillable hero who's a little bit immobile. And then the Darkseer comes in. So Nyx is like last on that list.
Oh, poor Nyx.
But he's still good, you know. He's doing his job. Everything is wonderful. But I do feel like if he was another stun hero, they would be able to accomplish very, very similar things anyway.
He's definitely a big threat for this BINOMISTAS side. Like him and Ryo right now pairing up. Bloodstone up on the Storm. Straight into Nuanges with the Orchid. That is a simple snipe on the Treant. Dead for over a minute. Did he not die since his buyback? Is that the buyback timer being added on?
Yeah. That is his buyback timer being added on.
Well, he's not died for about 5-6 minutes then. And here comes that inevitable push to high ground. Bristleback feeling unkillable, shoves out top lane alone. D-Flash going to whack into mid. They've got catapults potentially coming down that mid lane too. And Storm Spirit with Bloodstone, very tanky. Oh, he's going to TP top. Onto Jupiter with a long ball lightning. Orchid and kill. There's just no escape.
They're going high ground too.
Storm Spirit is everywhere.
Sure,
Yeah, they're up on high ground. Bristleback's past your tier 3s.
Yo, FCR, can you hit the tower? He's just like going in and gooing and quill spraying, kicking them out. But he's the damage dealer on the tower, so.
Yeah, with your 500 right click.
Hit the tower.
Please hit the buildings. They blink stomp. Try to slow this down as best they can, but then the Storm is also connecting through that top lane back in towards mid with a ball lightning. Centaur, Vortex into the chain disables. They vacuum them, drop the wall onto him and the DP. They don't finish off the Centaur though, and he's still got Stampede. Troll denies the tier 3 tower under all of that. But holding onto your barracks, still a difficult prospect here for the BINOMISTAS. The Crewmates are running.
It's a little bit low on mana on FCR. But yeah, they kind of backed off here because they already used a wall combo. And 5 heroes are up on BINOMISTAS. They want to play the more calculated game here. Wait for BINOMISTAS to die with another hero. D-Flash going to put his body out there, breaking the smokes. Great play from him. He's got that burrow time.
It's a long Roshan respawn as well. It's about 3 minutes. So there's plenty of time here for the crewmates to go into that Radiant base and start up a fight with a 3-4-man vacuum. They stampede to disengage. In comes Ryo, though, catching out Jupiter. And get the Moonlight Shadow out. They're walking back under sentries, but Ryo thinking about disengaging while this Bristleback. He definitely doesn't want to disengage. He wants to run into that mix, get on top of them all. Basically one-shots Jupiter. They buy back Nuages, but DP's down. Bristle and Storm go to work. Wild onto Benny. Double kill for the Storm. He's got the Battle Trance out on Troll, but Bristleback turns his back. And we've got another wipe. Crewmates. I mean, they're putting their stamp on this game now.
Well, I put the stamp first, Gary. They can't put their stamp over mine.
They're copying you. They're overlapping stamps.
Well, I knew they were going to win before they knew they were going to win.
Well, they've just gone the express one, don't you? You put the first class stamp on, they've gone for the express service.
Yeah. I mean, they look good here. I think BINOMISTAS, it's not like they have a bad draft. Their draft is great, but against Crewmates, you have to punish them in a very different way, and they missed their opportunity to punish them. So, in hindsight, Crewmates, you know, they did win the draft, and they had an easier to execute lineup as well, which has put them in a beautiful position this game.
Yeah, it really was that kind of, 15, it was more like 16 minutes that we knew the 3 items that they were looking for, the Orchid, the Mech, and then Aghanims on Bristleback. It all came together, and they moved forward aggressively, and they really with no fear, right? FCR seems like he's the one making the calls, much more so than Game 1 on that Nature's Prophet. So he was rallying the team to go take these objectives, get the Roshans, get these towers, and they're going to claim up the second lane. Sexy Fat with a Blink Stomp. Arrow there onto FCR. BKB, Battle Trance Troll. They do turn around though with a vacuum wall. Ryo pops out Nuages. And Sexy Fat sprinting forward, going to die to his own double edge basically, and GG's called. They cannot fight into this. FCR is so tanky. Ryo is going to snipe out Mirana just before the game ends. 28-8. A stomping in game 2 here. And like the panel was saying, that this is bottom of the table versus top of the table.
Stomped by Centaur. I mean, Crewmates, we talked about this like as the game was progressing, right? BINOMISTAS, they did well on lanes, but Crewmates' team fight and their ability, as soon as they got the Ags and the Storm's timings, like they all clicked at the same time. And BINOMISTAS at that Roshan fight, Troll didn't have his BKB yet, and it was just really awkward to take that engagement. Like this Aghanims Bristleback, as soon as you buy it, it's huge. Like team fight potential is huge. Plus you got the Darkseer, Onshell, and the Surge stacking up on top of this Bristleback. The combo is just too much for BINOMISTAS to deal with. I think for game number 3, they need to break up this combo. They can't give this Bristol plus Abaddon and then the Darkseer plus the Storm for the catches as well to like make up. Crewmates had a very well balanced draft.
Yeah, I mean, just final numbers there. The Storm Spirit, 12-0-12. I mean, Ryo had a phenomenal game, and they're going to tie things up to head into game 3, which